Choosing a niche for any online business is the most important decision that you can make for the business. It is the very foundation for the business itself, and high-ticket dropshipping is no exception to this rule. And in this video, I'm going to talk about how you choose a profitable and uncompetitive high-ticket dropshipping niche in 2025. There's a lot of bad advice out there on YouTube of how to do this. There are some channels that have a lot more followers than I do that suggests you can really do this business model with anything. And while that's technically true, if you're going to be spending the same amount of effort doing this, whether you're in an uncompetitive niche or a competitive niche, doesn't it make more sense to choose an uncompetitive niche if you're going to be, again, exerting the same amount of effort? So we're not going to be talking about massage chairs. We're not going to be talking about golf simulators. Yes, those have crazy high search volume if you look in SEMrush, but that's not what we're interested in at all. What we're interested in is need-based products with low keyword difficulty and high search volume with a large catalog. So I'm going to kind of break each one of those down, starting with need-based. I won't get too in-depth with this. I have a lot of videos and content on this channel about need-based products. Why is it so important to sell a need-based product? And does it have to be need-based? No, it doesn't have to be. You can sell products that are not technically need-based. What do I mean by this? When it comes to products that you sell, is it something that somebody needs to perform a job, or is it something that somebody wants because it would be nice to have? So in other words, is it something that this person is required to buy in order to complete a job or complete a task, or is this discretionary money for something like a sauna or fitness equipment or a golf simulator? It's a lot easier to sell something that somebody needs to the person that needs it when they're already searching for it online. As long as the product that you carry either fits the brand or fits the specs or fits the price point or it fits all three of those things, it is a much easier sell because essentially they're ready to buy that thing then, or they will come back to your business, to your website later on after going back to their boss or maybe getting a couple quotes from a couple other different sources. But there's not really a lot of selling that goes into it because they know what they need. You don't have to dress it up all pretty. All you're doing is presenting the information to them. This is what this product does. Bullet point A, bullet point B, bullet point C, and it makes it a really simple buying experience. But a lot of people overcomplicate this in high-ticket dropshipping. They think it's all about the fancy pictures and videos, and while those things can help, what it really comes down to in this type of niche is how you present the information. So that's kind of the first overarching principle. It kind of gives us a base of where to start when we choose our niche. Is it need-driven? Or B2B, B2G, meaning business government, or even B2C if this is someone that someone needs for their house or whatever the case might be. Okay, then we get into the actual catalog. How many product types are in here? Is this just a singular product type, or is it a bunch of different types of a product? So for instance, like water pumps, there are a shitload of different types of water pumps out there. So I would consider water pumps its own niche. Yes, they're all water pumps, but they're all very different from each other. They all fit very different use cases and serve different industries. Or is it something like medical equipment where it's a bunch of different product types? There's patient beds, there's bariatric lifts, there's all sorts of stuff, wheelchairs, scooters. They're all different products, but they all fit under the same umbrella. And if you carry them on your website, you will still come off as a specialist within that space. Or some sort of heavy machinery, or you guys kind of get the point of what I'm saying. You don't want to just have like 2 or 3 very specific product types to sell. That's kind of a high risk, I would say low reward when it comes to high ticket dropshipping. Like, let's say you happen to guess correctly and you choose a niche that has like 2 products. Well, if it works, then you can make a lot of money selling those 2 products because you know that they sell and you can focus all of your efforts towards selling those 2 things. But the problem is, what if the next day a new competitor comes into the space and they take half your traffic? Or maybe something in the market changes and people are buying those particular things less, or maybe they're seasonal. Well, then what do you turn to? Well, if you're in a niche where like you're limited to just like a couple or even one product type, there's not really a lot else you can do other than start a new store or start incorporating products onto your existing store that don't really relate to that one niched down product. So what we want to do, in my opinion, and this is how I run my businesses, this is how I build businesses for my clients. We want something with a large catalog that A, gives us the ability to pivot, and B, gives us the chance and the potential to expand. Let's say 5 different product types work. Well, that's kind of the best case scenario here. We're able to cast a wide net. We're able to let Google Ads kind of tell us what's working and what's not, or what's getting interest and what's not. And from there, it's a lot easier to hone in on something that is working. And that was how I initially discovered my very first niche ever that worked really, really well. I was casting a wide net. I could have done a lot of things better at that time that I've learned over the course of time. But it was that principle that kind of helped me narrow it down. So overarching point with the catalog size, you want to carry something that is closely related to where if you list it on your website, you come off as an authority, as a specialist, and you want to give yourself the ability to pivot if you need to. Then we get into the data. You can look at all the data in the world when it comes to niche selection, and at the end of the day, you're not going to know if something will truly work until you start doing it, until you start going to market and advertising these products and seeing what sells and what doesn't sell. But as far as having data to back you up, if you look at the search volume for golf simulators, you're going to find probably somewhere in the 50 to 100,000 monthly searches. And you might think that's great, and it's actually trending up over the course of time, and that's also good. But the problem is, if you look at the keyword difficulty, you're going to find somewhere in the realm of 50 to 70%, depending on the specific keyword. These are really the 2 data points that I pay attention to. And more specifically, what is the ratio of search volume to keyword difficulty? And the greater that ratio is, the better, in my opinion, that niche is. So when I'm looking at niches and choosing them for my clients or choosing them for my own businesses, I'm looking at every product within a niche, within a large catalog, and I'm looking at what are the branded search terms, what are the more long tail keywords, what are the general keywords, what is the average keyword difficulty, and what's the average search volume, and trying to get an average across the entire niche of the ratio of search volume to keyword difficulty. And so the higher the search volume, the lower the keyword difficulty, the better the niche in general. And that's about the most accurate and reliable way that I have found to find and choose a niche. And then from there, let's say you've found 20 different niches that kind of fit this bill. Then it becomes kind of difficult. Okay, which one do I choose? Choosing a niche is something that hangs everybody up the longest when it comes to actually starting a business. It's kind of this analysis paralysis, and you're not actually making progress, but you know how important of a decision it is. Well, at some point, you do have to make a decision. And this is, at this point, I'll use this opportunity to talk about the service that I provide. I have an online course where I show you how to do this yourself through building my own business with my co-instructor, Lisa, who's an SEO expert. And we show how to do this when we build a real business in front of you. I also have a done-for-you service where I will literally build your business for you. I will research and choose your niche for you, of course, with your approval. I will build your website. I will source your suppliers. I will build the whole thing, and I will run your Google ads for you. And at some point, I will hand it off once that is all set up and once it's all running. So if you're someone that is serious about doing this, you can check out the course or you can check out the Done For You service. The link is in the description below. So wrapping up here, choosing a niche is really hard. It's a really important decision. In fact, it's the most important decision when you're starting an online business, specifically with high-ticket dropshipping. And there's a lot of bad advice out there on the internet that suggests you can just kind of do this with whatever. You don't have to give a lot of thought to the data, or you don't have to give a lot of thought to the principles behind the niches that you're looking at. Or maybe some of the advice is just bad advice. Like you're not looking at something like how competitive a niche actually is. You're just looking at something like search volume. Is something trending? And the problem is that's really easy to sell to the masses on YouTube because it makes it seem way easier than it is. Well, if you're going to be doing this, I promise you, you are going to have such a different experience if you choose a niche that is far less competitive and that's need-based, and we can look at the data that backs up our decision here. The chances of success go up astronomically if you are in that realm versus doing something and doing what everyone else is doing, like selling saunas or greenhouses or what have you. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments. Again, subscribe for this type of content about high ticket drop shipping. And if you're someone that is serious about doing high ticket drop shipping yourself, click the link in the description below. But we will see you guys in the next one.